So I just wanted to make this quick video explaining my 2024 content predictions just so you can get more clearer. And this is going to be for any of you guys in the content game, in the marketing space. It doesn't really matter what niche you're in, but these are my predictions that you can take advantage of. Now, 2024 content predictions, so you can stay ahead of the game. Now, the top of the list is going to be that long form content, for example, YouTube, and even using the YouTube content and repurposing that on Twitter, because now Twitter is actually pushing. If you've watched Elon Musk's most recent interview, he talks about the reason he changed it from X was because he doesn't want it to just be tweets anymore and short little blasts. He wants to actually create more long form sustainable content. So there was a company that dropped their trailer on Twitter for like a movie or something or wherever it was, and it was like an hour long. It was like some type of documentary or wherever it was. It was like an hour long, and it popped off and it did insanely well. So that's just an example. So like, for example, if you're creating YouTube content, you don't have to just create it for YouTube, but you can then go repurpose that content on Twitter, which is going to be key moving forward. So yeah, 2024, long form is the way to go. When it comes to building community, short form isn't entirely doing that. Followers on TikTok don't even really matter. You need a lot of followers for it to matter. There's people on TikTok with 20 million followers, like Andrea Lopez, who goes live and gets 200 viewers, right? Again, followers on TikTok don't even really matter. It's great for the tippity top of the funnel at the awareness stage, so people become aware of you. But the follower value on something like YouTube for long form content is valued a lot more than short form platforms. So I would prefer to have 10,000 YouTube subscribers than 100,000 TikTok followers at 100%. Again, TikTok's good for that initial awareness, and it can be good for specific niches. For example, it can be really good if you get viral videos because you can drive a ton of conversion. There's been videos where, let's just say a video gets 9 million views. You could get, if you're selling or monetizing some type of product, you could get 5,000 leads from that one video, which is obviously insane. So don't sleep on TikTok and short form. But moving into 2024, I really do think long form is going to be the way to go, especially when it comes to building community. So yeah, it's just valued a lot more than short form platforms, and I think that's the way we're moving, especially if Elon sees that with X and that's how he sees X going, then I think he understands the marketplace, and I think he understands that that's where everyone's moving, right? So it's very interesting. So consider making YouTube content and repurposing that YouTube content across to X and Twitter, right? So also the barrier to entry for short form is a lot easier, which is also very true, right? So it's easy. Making long form content like YouTube videos or podcasts are 10 times harder to do. And the more someone spends time with you or your company, aka just watching a longer video, the more likely they are going to be interested in your offer, right? So long form videos and podcasts are a great way to do so. So get on YouTube and get on X, right? Now, next, I've been saying this for a long time, but UGC is officially dead. UGC creators cannibalize their own market by telling people to become a UGC creator. It doesn't really work anymore. And if you have a brand, 1 to 2 faces max is all you really need, and that's for UGC right now. Third, podcast vlogs are next, right? I talked about this in a recent mastermind for my Inner Circle. Podcast vlogs are next, right? What does that mean? Podcast in action, right? So podcasts that are actually doing something where they're not just sitting down and talking. Now, there's a couple of people who have done this really well. Alex Hormozi and Chris Williamson have recently done a gym workout series thing where that's kind of like a podcast in action. There's a couple other really good examples. Sam Sulek is almost another really good example of just doing a solo podcast almost, where he's just going about his day in the life and narrating what he's doing and giving his thoughts. That's a very podcast vlog style. That's what I sort of mean, right? So we all know that YouTube went through an entire vlog era with Casey Neistat and everybody followed, but now I'm seeing podcast vlogs, aka podcasts with action, instead, really starting to pop off, right? So instead of filming your life every single day, you're just talking about your life every single day. Sam Sulek, right? You know, like there's again, like Alex Hormozi's incorporating him going into the gym and blah 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 and talking over that, right? So there's a ton of stuff you can do. IRL streaming is going to become more popular, and the last personal thing to do, right? Because with AI and faceless content on the rise, it sucks right now. Like like a lot of the AI stuff, it sucks. But when it gets better, like IRL streaming is going to be the last resort for people to go if they actually want like authenticity and personal content, right? So that's something to consider. Is IRL streaming is going to be the last resort for people to go to, which is why this longer form stuff is going to be better, because again, AI is just is starting to get clever. It sucks at the moment, but it's going to start to take over soon, right? Now, there's a couple of reasons why it's working. First, it taps into the loneliness economy, right? That's why Sam Sulek's doing so well. He taps into that loneliness economy, and he taps into a specific market in the loneliness economy. A bunch of guys, lonely men, and who just want to feel something. They want a friend online. They want to feel like they're a part of something, right? They want to, once they come home from school, and they want to go to something, and someone like Sam Sulek provides that sort of escape, right? So again, podcast vlogs taps into the loneliness economy, which is also going to be a really big thing in 2024. But it also mimics reality TV in a sense, right? Because it's more raw, it's more authentic, it's more real. It's not like YouTube and short form has almost been Mr. Beastified, where everything is super high energy, captions in your face, really good hooks, like really high budget, crazy production, and like it's just getting too much. Everyone's getting bombarded, everyone's sick of it. And if you look at Sam Sulek's video comments, for example, you can see tons of people commenting on it going, this takes me back to the OG days of YouTube. Comments like, this is so refreshing to see, like it's not like all this like really high energetic fake, it's just real, raw, authentic, like unauthentic. That's going to come back, and that is coming back, and we're starting to see that now, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how brands enter the market with sponsorships. That's going to be very interesting, right? But this is going to be big. And lastly, education content is dead. Everybody and their mother is trying to teach somebody how to do something on social media. We are drowning in information while starving for wisdom, right? Now, I'm not saying don't make educational content, because obviously I do that, and there's a bunch of other people that do it successfully. Now, it can work, don't get me wrong, but what I'm saying is if that's all you do as a creator or even a brand, then you're never going to end up moving your viewers down the funnel, right? So many people, like literally the entire internet are just used to value-based content now, so they're constantly bombarded by that, right? So what you have to do is ask the viewer to take the next step, right? Take the next step in your funnel, right? Which is spending more time with you on long form content. So don't be afraid to ask. Winners ask for what they want. And yeah, let me know if you want any more like sort of market content kind of predictions. But I just think this is the way that it's going to go, because at the end of the day, like even myself, like I'm going to start incorporating this like Sam Sulek style of YouTube podcast in action kind of vibe. And you guys can sort of see how I do that. But I'm just going to be not only like educating people in those videos, where I'm educating people about my like sort of like my days in the life, this is what I do, but also like some other things that I'm passionate about, right? Rather than just being educational, I'm going to bring in like diet and food stuff that I'm passionate about, and all these other things, so people can really get an understanding of who I am, because that's the one thing that you can tap into, and that's the one thing that no one can compete with you on, is being your unique, authentic self, right? No one can compete with Sam Sulek on being Sam Sulek, because he's Sam Sulek, right? You'll have copycats that try and be like him, but that's not being authentic and real, and that's why people like Sam Sulek do so well. That's why people like Alex Hormozi do so well, and Alex Hormozi can clearly see that, right? And he's someone to look at as a market mover, because he's the value guy. He gives all this value, educational content. He's going to keep doing that, but you can see now him and Layla have started to go more into diving deep into their stories and being more authentic about themselves. Like again, he's doing that gym sort of podcast with action now with Chris Williamson, where they're just in the gym training, being bros, having a laugh, asking each other interesting questions, and it's more engaging, more captivating. You're getting to know them at a deeper level, and that's what you need to do. You don't want to just be this surface level person that gives value, and that's all people see you for. You want to start to incorporate other elements of your brand, show your interests, and come up with verticals that are very broadly different, right? You don't just have to define yourself in a box. Just be you. Don't like try and be like this specific thing. Like don't just brand yourself as like, for example, with me, I don't want to just fall into that trap of being this OFM guy. I want to be Dylan, right? And I want to tap into everything that I do and I enjoy and I like to talk about on a daily basis, right? Whether there's that sort of controversial opinions, whether that's my political views, whether that is how I think about the food industry, tons of different things. But I'm going to start incorporating that into my brand, right? So yeah, this is something that I thought was interesting to make a little video on. So yeah, these are my 2024 content predictions for marketers. So yeah, if you want to grow your personal brand, build that attractive character, then this is going to be key that you are taking advantage of this early on. But yeah, other than that, I'll see you at the top and see you in the next one. Peace.